morning, darling. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Look at the sunshine. It's wonderful. Except we need rain. Oh, God, we need rain. We're just going to dry up to a crisp and blow away if we don't get rain. Anyway, good morning. I've got to have some coffee. Yum. That's good coffee, French roast. Today I made a list of funny things that have happened to me, so many, and I've been the butt of more jokes because of things I've done, and I love it. I really can laugh at myself, and there's plenty to laugh about, let me tell you. I was dating a man in San Francisco, Dr. Rudolph Noble. You may know him or have known him. I understand he's ill now, and he has a lovely woman taking care of him and someone he loves. So, that's all we can ask for, I think, when we reach that stage. But when I knew Rudy, he was such a character. I kept breaking up with him and going back and breaking up. Oh, you know what that's about. So anyway, at one point, Rudy would come to see me, and I had a mirror over a table, and I had one in the hall. And he would look at himself. He was so busy smoothing his hair. He was so vain. And so one time when he came, I put towels over all the mirrors. And he was really funny about it because he saw the towels, and marched into my bathroom where I didn't have a towel in that mirror. And he knew it. He said, aha, I found one. So he had a good sense of humor, a great sense of humor. When he decided he wanted to get his nose made smaller, Rudy's Armenian, and Babikian was his name before they changed it to Noble when his parents came to this country. Anyway, he was working at UC Hospital. He was a doctor, and he didn't want anyone out there to know what he was doing. So he said to me, oh, Pat, will you please go with me? Please, please. And I said, yes, of course I will. And we had a little thing between us that we got from that book, I Like You and I Know Why, Sandel's Stoddard book, just adorable. For children, but we were children. And still are. Maybe more now than ever. But we had this little thing from that book where when we were out, he would say, ooh, where are you? And I would say, here I am. Cute. And we laughed. But I went with him. I got to the hospital after my television show, and he was in a room getting ready to go to surgery. So I said, oh, Rudy, my goodness, are you sure you want to do that? Yes, he did. So when they came for him, he put a sheet over his head, and they put him on a gurney. He looked like a dead body. And I followed him, and he put his hand out at one point and said, are you there? And I said, yes, I am, but you better be quiet. So we get in the elevator, and there are people there, and it's a rickety old elevator at UC Hospital. And the people there, they thought that Rudy was a dead body. And it was like they flattened themselves against the wall of the elevator. Really, they did, like flies on a screen. And so I'm seeing this, but of course Rudy isn't even aware they're there. Everyone was very respectful, very quiet. And more and more people got in, and the doors would open and close, and some people would get off, and other people were waiting, and how it is in an elevator. And at one point, it was so quiet, but there were about 5 people in the elevator. And Rudy said, oh, where are you? This dead body had risen, So because I had been really acting the part of someone who was bereaved, so I threw myself on his body and I said, oh, you're okay, you're living. And everyone, they're looking at each other and no one knew what to say. And so they got off before we did. And the attendants were like, what is this crazy stuff we're dealing with today? But Rudy and I laughed and laughed over that, and it was funny. So many things. I made a list because, oh goodness, so many. I had a wonderful cat. Her name was Merlin, and I got her in Golden Gate Park. I found her, little tiny kitten, and she was like my daughter. Sweet. I've never seen such a sweet, relaxed, do whatever you want kind of cat. And she slept with me every night. And it's interesting. She came into my life just when I was going to have cervical spine surgery. So, and I needed her. And it's like she was sent to me. I love those things. Very interesting, I think. So anyway, she would get up after I came back from the hospital and was wearing a hard collar around my neck. And she would jump up on the headboard and wait for me to get settled. And then I'd pull the cover back and she'd go meow and jump down and snuggle up against me and put her little paw around my neck. Oh, God, it was so sweet. And when I'd turn over in the night, she would wait, and then she'd come over to the other side. And I just loved that cat. But she was so relaxed that nothing fazed her. And I had some people over once to talk about a documentary. They were giving me quite a lot of money, this lovely woman, Lillian Howell, so generous with my foundation. And so we had been talking in another room. And then we go down for this cold cut lunch. And guess what? There's Merlin in the center of the table eating. Eating. And I go like, oh, I was embarrassed. Oh, I'll have to throw everything away. And Lily said, oh, no. She's very soft-spoken. No, just take a few slices off the top. So I did. And we had our cat lunch. We had lunch with a cat. So lots of things, and I'm sure you have your stories. How can you not? And what seems like catastrophic sometimes, or at least pretty disturbing, turns out to be nothing. And that's true of almost everything that happens to us. We make a big fuss about things. We moan and we groan. And years later we think, what was that all about? So I've made up my mind. No moaning, no groaning, except a little bit once in a while. Because this too will pass. And I think we need to hit our own brick wall in life. And we'll hit it over and over again until we get the lesson. I really believe that. That's been my experience. And I'll tell you more about that someday if you'd like to know. And in the meantime, keep laughing, darling. Keep laughing. It's the only way. Not the only way, but it's the best way.